This is Wake and Hustle. Join us every week as we take you on a journey to listen to real stories
by real entrepreneurs with a powerful blend of motivation to keep you thriving. What's up, y'all? We're back with another episode of Wake and Hustle, where we highlight entrepreneurs from all walks of life. And this week we have
Anthony Taylor. So Anthony, guys, if you guys don't know, Anthony is a real estate investor here in Cleveland, Ohio, doing big things in the city. Talk to us. Let us know. We want to start by asking you, how do you start your day in the mornings?
Typically, wake up, jump on my computer,
Okay.
see what deals I could find.
Okay.
I'd use Zillow. I like on-market deals. I get a lot of off-market deals come to my email. I do prop wire, where it's like an implemented prop stream, but without paying a monthly fee.
Okay.
So you still have access to all of the information on the property. You can skip trace the numbers, and you can skip trace the owner's information for 10 cents. So yeah, you just load up some money on the account, and you know, if you see the property, you like it, skip trace the owner, and make your calls like that. So it's just like prop stream, but without the monthly fee.
Okay.
So you just deal hunting every morning.
Yep. So deal hunting in the morning. Make my breakfast. Call my realtor, check my emails, check on some offers and stuff like that. So it also depends on the time of the season. So if so my morning wouldn't just start like that every day.
Okay.
If I got a deal that I'm wrapping up, then my morning would start by calling my contractors to see where we at, what's what we need. Do I need to go to Home Depot? It depends if I'm in the middle of a rehab.
Gotcha.
Once I'm done with a house and it's on market and I got an offer, or I know I'm closing, that's when I'm shopping. I'm shopping for stuff every day when I know I'm closing on one.
Okay.
So I try to keep it going. It's a cycle. So that's my morning may vary. So
Okay. All right. But I love, from what it sounds like, just the strategy of just kind of getting up and just being consistent, getting up, getting on the computer, checking your bills, touching bases with your contractors, just kind of seeing exactly where your flow is going to go. Right. Considering that overall it's the same, but the points are different. Is what it sounds like.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, my deals is my breakfast. Before breakfast,
I like that.
Before a shower, I'm jumping to see, well, how can I make my money work for me?
I love that.
So how do you decide your deals, whether it's, I hear you say rehabs and things like that. So is that your number one strategy, or like how are you deciding what to jump into?
Nope. So fix and flip is my bread and butter.
Okay.
That's where I make my living off of, because I'm good at it.
Okay.
Wholesale, I just got into that in 2023.
Okay.
Because I was doing a lot of deals with cash buyers. I was partnering in with a lot of people, and usually, if a deal comes my way, I was just the type to have it, flip it, keep it, etc.
Okay.
But as I built relationships with a lot of cash buyers, I would run, something. It was just like, maybe I could wholesale it to somebody, or you know what I mean, or maybe I can just make. I never did wholesale,
right?
But
okay.
I wholesaled in 2023. I made over $100,000 wholesaling alone.
Wow.
So yeah, so that's what interested me in it. So. A deal would come my way, and if I didn't want it, I would put 20 on it.
Gotcha.
I would put 10 on it. It's all about the area. You got to leave the buyer room. So typically, if a deal come my way for $50,000, and I know that the ARV on it is $200,000, but it needs $30,000 worth of work,
Okay.
I could put a 20 on it, because now I can leave somebody to be all in 100,000 and still make 100,000.
Wow.
So wholesaling is all about numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. So you figured out from being in the fix and flip strategy how to use other strategies to make money in real estate.
Exactly.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Okay. And which one would you say is more of your, like, obviously fix and flip is your bread and butter. Which one, now that you've tried a few different ones, is your favorite? Which one are you going with?
Fix and flip is my favorite because I get a passion. Like I like to be on the scene. I like to see the transformation.
Yeah.
I like the hustle, the grind of it. Wholesaling is fast and easier. And I mean, it's quicker money. I wouldn't say it's easy because you have to pitch the deal. You got to find a buyer. You got to explain things. You got to deal with a lot of emotional sellers. You know what I'm saying? You got to kind of hide things, and you know what I mean. Unless you working with people that you know.
Right.
But so fix and flip is more of my go-to.
Okay, so you like seeing it all. You like grinding it out. Yeah. You're a before and after type of person.
Yeah, because I know when I get a deal, my numbers is good. I know what I got to do to get my number. So.
Got you. So when these deals come your way, how do you decide if you're going to fix and flip, wholesale it, buy and hold? Like, how do you decide? What strategy are you using?
So that depends on my inventory. So that goes to so I got a lot of wholesalers on the ground. Okay. I work with wholesalers. Okay. So they'll send me emails. They'll send me text messages. They got this amount of properties, this. Mm-hmm. It may be 10 properties in one day, maybe 2 in one day, et cetera. Gotcha. So if the numbers is great, because I got my own construction company and I can get them done fast. So if the numbers is great, I'll keep it for myself.
Okay.
If I'm currently in a deal, I may have 2 or 3 deals going, or even one deal going that's a big project, or even a small one, and I will just figure out I don't got time to. It may be a full rehab. The numbers may be good, but it's a full rehab.
Yeah.
And I just don't got the time for that. So I'll pass it down to a cash buyer that I know may want to have the time for that. Or I may even partner in with someone and say, hey, look, here's a good deal. I can't do this by myself. Yeah. Let's go in on it. I can't put the time in. You put the time in, but I'll be the 50% of the money behind the scenes.
I love that you touched on that, partner with somebody. Yes. You know, finding somebody who's good with what you're not capable of doing at that second. You know, like this isn't. I don't have the time for this, but let me get somebody who do have the time, and maybe I put my money up, they put their time up, their money up, and we figure it out. However it goes to get the deal done, and you still making money on the back end.
Right. Yeah.
That's good. I love that. You know, I love that.
Yeah,
I'm queen partner. So tell us, when you're looking at deals, right, what are some strategies when you go in and say, how can I add value to this property? What's like your checklist of values?
So I'm like a reconfigure guy.
Are you an architect?
I'm not an architect, but I am.
Okay.
Yeah, I can come in a room and determine where things go from experience.
Okay.
So I just bought a house on the west side, and it was similar to a house that I previously just flipped.
Okay.
Had the right amount of square footage, but the layout was funky. So, you know, in order to add value, if I can add a half a bath somewhere, I will. If I can add a small bedroom somewhere, I will. If I can move the kitchen to add a bedroom somewhere, or just reconfigure, you know, I do that. Like I'm like a reconfigure kind of guy. I go in place and you could say, here's a bottle of ketchup. How can you turn this into a home? And I can.
Love that.
So what you're not doing is sitting around looking at what you see and just painting and adding new cabinets. You're literally changing the layout of things.
Yeah, because it's people say, don't do too much with this house because it doesn't deserve it, the area, or whatever.
Right.
Or just be in and out.
Okay.
But you could be in and out and still change the layout. And add value.
Okay.
Because, so what I do is this. So when I remodel a home, I go off of the new builds, and like I implement new builds. Because anybody that wants to rent a house wants to have a nice home. They want the apartment, that new 2024 apartment building, right? Yeah. With the island in the middle, with the sink inside the island, etc., and nice cabinets, and all those things, right? Mm-hmm. So I go off of how does the new builds look? Because you target I may leave this for another question. You guys may ask me another question.
Go, it's good.
But I target the renters. Okay. Because I like to buy multifamilies. Okay. So I buy multifamily homes and I sell them to the out-of-town investors.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And there's this 1% rule that they go off of. But now, and I offer them a little over 1%. So if a house is bringing in $3,000 a month, you got out-of-town investors that would pay $300,000 for it.
Okay.
If it's bringing in $2,000, $200,000. $1,000, $100,000. So it's many different ways you can finagle real estate. You got people that buy for certain reasons. You got investors that buy for cash flow. You got investors that buy for fix and flip. You got investors that buy for wholesale.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So you got investors that buy in volume that once, and just, some people may buy a duplex and figure, if one unit is vacant, I'm missing my profit.
Gotcha.
My profit is gone. So you got people that will buy in volume 10 plus units, 15, 16. That way, if they have a downtime of 2-3 units where, they got to turn them over, they still making profit. Okay. So you got investors that buy for many different reasons in real estate.
Yeah. And that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
For sure. So when you're looking at the actual home and you're deciding if I want to buy it or I want to sell it or I want to keep it, what's the categories that you go to say, how do I get rid of it? Maybe I keep this one. Maybe I sell this one. What's your checklist that you're deciding that on?
So my exit strategy determines its factor is numbers.
Okay.
So if it's bringing me in way over 1%, then what I pay for it. So put it like this. I'll use round numbers.
Right.
If I buy a duplex for $50,000,
okay,
and the ARV is $250,000, and I know I can get the rehab done for $50,000, I'm all in $100,000.
Okay.
I'm sitting on $150,000 equity. Typically, my duplexes I buy them in the west side of Cleveland.
Okay.
They may bring in $1,500 per unit, $3,000 a month. I'm only all in $100,000. I'm bringing in $3,000 a month.
Okay.
That's a keep.
Okay. Because your income is bringing in.
Because now I'm sitting on $150,000 equity. At $250,000, I may refinance it and use the BRRRR tactic on that.
Okay.
And pull 80% of my $150,000 out. Cash flow, use the remaining balance of that money, and repeat it.
Can you elaborate on BRRRR tactic?
So BRRRR is when you buy a house. Let's say I'm always speak round numbers for the people. Let's say you buy a house for $100,000.
Okay.
Duplex, and you put $20,000 in it.
Okay.
And it's now worth $200,000.
Okay.
So then you refinance. Let's just put it like this. You go to the bank. I use hard money loans a lot.
Okay.
So I would use a hard money loan or cash or my own cash to buy a deal. Buy a deal for $100,000, whether it's hard money or cash. Put $20,000 in it, and the ARV after repair value is $200,000. Then I go to the bank and I say, I have this property and I want to refinance it with you guys. I then refinance, and they give me 80% of the ARV to $200,000. So I don't got my pen and pad on me, but whatever 80% is on $200,000. I walk away with the profit of anything over $120,000. I walk away with. If I had a hard money loan on, they pay the hard money loan. I get a new interest rate. Hard money loans is always typically between 12 to 15%. I get a new 6 or 7% interest rate.
Okay.
So I'm cash flowing more money. I got money in my pocket, and the money that I use in my pocket, I use that to repeat the process. So it's buy, renovate, rent, repeat. No, buy, renovate, refinance, repeat.
Gotcha.
But in my case, what I do is buy, renovate, rent, refinance, repeat.
Gotcha. So you like BRRRR.
Yeah.
BRRRR.
So if I got decent credit and I'm new and I don't know BRRRR tactics and round numbers, what are you suggesting me to do to invest?
So if you have decent credit with some money and you wanted to invest or whatever, I would go hard money loan.
What's some money?
Let's say
40 bands?
$10,000.
Oh, okay.
$10,000, you can get you a good deal done.
Okay.
You can get.
So how do I do that?
So you got to find a good deal.
Okay.
So let's say even if you follow a mentorship.
Okay.
A lot of times, if you don't know what you're doing, you want to lock in with a mentor. Because, an honest one that's going to tell you the truth and how to, elaborate, et cetera, et cetera. So let's say you got $10,000 and you want to get into real estate. First thing you do is you contact a mentor or someone that you know in real estate.
Okay.
And you say, hey, I got this money. I want to get into real estate. What should I do? I got $10,000. My credit isn't that good. I don't have no experience.
Right.
So I will always, me personally, I will always refer you to a hard money team.
Okay.
Because they typically approve anybody with experience.
Okay.
Or anybody with, you can co-sign experience. You can, there's a lot of ways that you can get approved with a hard money loan.
Okay.
So you just, you take your $10,000 and you find a good deal, make sure the numbers work. They always pretty much want not that much money up front. The team that I deal with is really only 3%. So let's say you find a house for $100,000 and they want 3% up front. That's $3,000. Then you got to pay for the attorney fee. Then you got interest rate. So $10,000 is more than enough to get you a good deal.
Okay.
And they'll fund it. So the purpose of that is that you use hard money because if you find a good deal that's at about 65% of whatever the ARV, they'll fund 65% of the ARV.
Okay.
So if you find a house for $100,000 and it needs only $30,000 worth of work, they'll fund. And the ARV is $200,000.
Right.
They'll give you $130,000 on it.
Okay.
So
for my $3,000.
For your $3,000.
Okay.
So that's a fully funded flip.
Nice.
That you can utilize your $2,000 and make $70,000 minus all the fees, etc. About $50,000.
Wow.
It's just pretty kind of hard to find.
Dropping gems, y'all.
Yeah.
You said it's hard to find. So how do we find those deals?
You can find good deals on market, and you can find good deals off market.
Okay.
It's all about the deals. The good deals that I find lately, for the last 18 months, every good deal that I found on market was on the market for no more than a day. Some 10 hours, some a day, some 2 days.
So they don't last long.
You got to act fast.
Yeah. Okay.
And you got to be aggressive. Gotcha. You got to know your numbers.
Okay.
If you don't know your numbers, you won't. You can't be a cheap investor, and you got to know your numbers. Okay. It's 50-50. You got to.
How'd you learn your numbers?
Experience.
You said that good experience, bad experience. What was the biggest teacher for you? What was the biggest lesson you learned?
When I first got in. When I first got in, I'm a fast learner, so I never really make the same mistake twice.
Okay.
So
what was that mistake?
I got into a deal where, let's just say this. When I first got into real estate, I got into some trouble.
Okay.
I was in the streets. I was doing dumb things, and it landed me some trouble.
Transparency.
Yeah. So I told myself, I said, you know what, I'm gonna do something that they could never take from me again. And I had a buddy of mine that was a realtor, and he was like, man, you should start investing into real estate. And I was like, well, I'm open to it. He found me a house on the east side that was a good deal for $15,000. All my money.
$15,000.
$15,000. Oh, I wish I could find this same deal right now.
Me too.
In Garfield Heights.
Oh yes.
So I bought this house.
Okay.
If I would have knew what I knew now, I would have only put about 40 in it.
Okay.
But I was hiring contractors, being nice, giving them up the money up front.
Ooh.
I was putting nice floors in.
Wow.
I was doing crazy things. So I ended up, luckily, I made my money back.
Okay.
I found my own buyer.
What?
It was on the market for like a week, and I was like, what is this, man? This is, and I'm like, you know what? I'm telling the realtor, like, I could find a buyer faster than you. And this is my boy.
That's insulting. From sitting at this point now, I'm insulted.
So I ended up finding my own buyer and got the house sold. And I made my money back. I sold it for $80,000.
Oh, wow.
And I was just discouraged, though, because I'm thinking, in the streets, I make more money than this. Yeah. It took me a year to make $80,000. Like, but in today's world, I'm like, damn, I did pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it was all my money.
Okay.
So I said, I'm discouraged. I don't want to do real estate no more. You know what I mean? He was like, let me just find you one more deal. He said, let me show you that it's profitable.
Yeah.
And then he found me one in the suburbs. But when he found it, he gave me a hard money connect. Okay. He said, I found this deal, and here's the guys that could fund it for you. You got $80,000 cash. Don't spend all your money this time. You know what I mean? And I found a deal, did the hard money, and I still got a relationship with him to this day. And it was great. The profit was good. The numbers was good. And then, you know, when the check came, it was over $100,000. And I was like, now this is the kind of money. I said, so this is what we're doing. Yeah. So then I started focusing on a lot of high-end areas.
Okay.
And if you're familiar with Cleveland, Ohio, then you know that you got Fairview, you got Seven Hills. I did them. I did Westlake. I did Bay Village. I did Strongsville. I've done all high-end areas. So that's what I was primarily focusing on.
Okay.
So I was getting good returns. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And is that how you locked in with the high-end areas? Because to go from Garfield to Bay Village is like insane. So it sounds to me, coming from obviously a buyer's realtor standpoint, that having a good realtor put you in a position to where not only did you get your money back, but you was able to now scale up to high-end areas. Yeah. Is that what got you, like your first one, got you hooked? Well, how do you focus in on high-end?
On high-end? Yeah. So when I did the Seven Hills one, it just kind of you know, it just came to me, man. I'm not even going to lie. I was just like, I'm big on faith. So I'm big on like, if I want it, I get it.
Yeah. Okay.
And I never had to work hard for anything I wanted. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of tell God, this is what I want, God, this is what I want to do. And he makes a way for me. So after the first flip, I was like, I told him, I said, hey, God, this was a good amount of money you gave me, you blessed me with. I would like to keep doing these high-end flips. And then they just was, you know, they would come my way. And I would go on the market. You know, at this time, the market was pretty easy to get good deals. So at this time, when I first started, I didn't really know nothing about off-market. I didn't know much about, you know, calling off-market deals or dealing with wholesalers. I would go on market, see a deal, run my numbers.
So how long you been doing it then?
About 6 years now, 7 years.
Okay.
Yep.
So we've gone through a market shift.
Yep.
Nice.
I love this. You know, and just from following you, Anthony, like your hands are in a few different pots. You even spoke about like the construction company that you have as well. So like even when you're doing your own properties, like are you betting them out to other investors that need renovations too?
My construction company?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll do some small jobs, maybe do a kitchen job and bathroom, but they really focus more so on my properties because I'm year round.
Got you.
There's no downtime for me.
So that has to be like a cost cut for you too.
What, for my construction company?
Well, as far as not having to like venture off, look at other
find your contractors, pay your permits.
Yes, that is. I get stuff done pretty cheap, cheaper than what the others, because once again, it's just your numbers, and it's a template that I follow. My guys know that I'm not paying more than this price for this.
Gotcha.
You know, my guys know that I got 3 HVAC guys. So I'm going to tell you may tell me, hey, I can do it for $5,500. You know, they may do a new furnace and some duct work, 2 units for, let's say, $6,000.
Okay.
But they know I got another guy that's doing them at $4,500.
Right.
Okay.
But this guy can't get it done for 2 weeks, and this guy's hungry, he's available, but he's more expensive. And I'm going to say, hey, other guy told me $4,500. It's just
negotiation.
Yeah.
All gotta have it's negotiation, and it's just, you know, it's just a little finesse. Gotta have a little finesse with your hustle. Gotta have some finesse with your hustle. You can't be, you know, you can't. I got that from my first deal.
Okay.
Johnny on the spot. Oh, 5,000 here. Oh, yeah. Oh, 3,000. Oh, here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's the lesson you learned.
It's the lesson I learned. So you just gotta have some finesse, because without some finesse,
get taken advantage of.
You get taken advantage of. Yeah.
So I'm seeing you now that you've been in it 6 years. You're on market, killing it. Off market, 100 bands. That's raw.
Yes.
But you're also now getting into content creation. So what has sparked that endeavor?
I got bored with scrolling, man.
Okay.
I ain't even gonna lie. Like I was just telling this story because I follow a lot of people that do content creation.
Okay.
You know, I watch people days in their life, and you know, I watch workout people, and you know, I mean, I watch all that, and I was like, you know, I'm like, man, my life is pretty much just as lit. You know what I'm saying? I can create some stuff too. Yeah. And I never did video editing. I never even got into that. But you
just got an Instagram and now you're doing it.
Well, I bought a tripod. And,
okay.
So I bought a tripod, and I was just like, I can do the I edit everything on TikTok. It's pretty easy.
Okay.
So I just bought a tripod, and I was like, record my day in the life. You know what I mean? I'm my own day in the life. I go to the gym, I close on houses. I make smoothies and do all that cool stuff too.
So you just started.
I just started.
Yeah.
I just started content creating, and I just, it's for me, it's like a hobby now.
Yeah, it sounds fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you just edit some stuff, and edit.
And this is your life, this isn't like any fluff or any, this is what you do. So even for those like watching and that's like interested in jumping out there with investing or, whatever space, they can actually see like, this is really what I do and making the time, because honestly for me, posting is hard. It is. Posting is hard.
He just said edit.
Yeah.
And the tripod. I'm like,
you're going to have to teach me some pointers because you're finding ways to invest, check on contractors all day, pick up loads, and I'm watching you leave Home Depot out the door past the camera. What the hell?
And record the content.
Yeah, and posting it. And I'm like, how do you have the time to do this? So,
so it sounds like you like it.
Yeah,
I like it. Yeah.
Okay.
And, I work for myself, so all I got is time.
Gotcha.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So my time based on what I make time for. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to be nowhere at a certain time.
Okay.
I'm my own time.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
So how do you balance all that with you being like an entrepreneur? We know you being a family guy, you being now a content creator, you flipping houses. How do you balance it all?
It balances itself. I'm a Libra.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
It balances itself. I told you this is that when I tell you that I make my own time.
Okay.
And I am my own time.
Okay.
It's just how it goes. It's simple. Yeah. I've set my own appointments. You know what I mean? Whatever works for you works for me.
Gotcha.
Because I can be there.
So outside of your contractors, like, who else is assisting you with this? Like, is it just you? Do you have an assistant, a VA, like somebody to just kind of help run things and make sure things go smoothly?
Nah, I pretty much handle it myself.
Okay.
I got a real cool realtor.
Okay.
That's she's been my realtor for a while.
Okay.
And she makes things easy for me. She introduced me to a transaction coordinator.
Okay.
That also makes things much easier.
Who's your transaction coordinator?
Her name is Courtney Bowens.
Okay.
And she's great.
I love it.
Yep. And I got introduced to her by the Miss Levy Hogan.
Hey, yay, look at you.
Yeah, my transaction coordinator, y'all. Courtney is amazing. She has transformed and made things a lot easier. So.
She makes things easier. I recommend her for anything and anybody in real estate or just any transaction. She just, if you see a deal, you like a deal, you send it to her and it all.
It's done.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
It's fast. Yeah.
So what do you got coming up this year? How can we reach you? The people want to see and hear from you and learn more numbers because it seems like you could spit out numbers like a calculator. So how can we get in contact with you?
So Cuban_@ is my Instagram. That's pretty much my only contact. I don't really advertise nothing that I do. I just put it out there for motivation. But I will start doing some video content, and I will start offering prices where, if you want to book me for a day to, do some video content for you, I can deal with. Because what is pictures all about? When your girl takes your pictures, what are you telling her?
I know, right?
What are you telling her? You want what? Get the angles.
It's the angle.
And that's what I'm good at. I'm good at angles. I'm good at videography. I don't even know what to call it these days. I'm just good at it.
Ready to do it.
I'm just good at it. You know what I mean? And if you check out my Instagram, Cuban_@, you'll see my content. You'll see the cuts that I make, and I do it all myself. There's no team behind me.
Okay.
But I am looking to get big in that this year.
Okay.
Okay.
Content creation, y'all.
Yes.
Y'all need y'all social media content creator.
Hit up Cuban_ant on Instagram.
Yeah.
You have so many big things going on. I can't wait to see what the year just, brings to you. You have so much happening.
Yeah.
I know you're going to be so successful at everything you have going. I just can't wait to watch you grow.
I appreciate it.
Before you go, we do want to give you our notebook. Go ahead and
Yes.
pass that to him, Lily.
Here you are. So here at Wake and Hustle, we are really big on writing things down, holding yourself accountable, having some type of strategy, some type of standard. And you're busy. You have a lot of stuff happening, a lot of things you have to keep up with. We are pushing to just write stuff down. So we like to just give these notebooks out to our guests.
I love it.
Keep us in mind. Wake and Hustle is the vibe,
Wake and hustle.
Yes, Wake and Hustle. And thank you so much for coming to visit us.
I appreciate it.
We love listening and talking with you and dropping all the gems to the viewers.
Yes.
Yes. Love you got something.
Nope. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.
I'll see you then.